everyone, it's Alyssa and welcome to You Can Learn Math. Today's lesson is on adding and subtracting imaginary numbers and complex numbers. So imaginary numbers are things involving I or the square root of -1, and complex numbers are when you have a random regular number, like say 5, in front of your I, or if it could be 4I or 3I or whatever. It's that pattern, which they are going to represent in your math book as A plus B times I. A and B can be any regular old number. If this little fact right here about that I is square root of -1, if that is just like, whoa, I haven't heard that before, I don't know where you're coming with this, please go to the link in the description below. I did a video on imaginary numbers, so that will walk you through it, the introduction to it, explaining what they are and how the basics of them work, how the basic powers work, things like that. So again, our basic imaginary numbers can be something times I or just I. This could be like 7I, this could be 22I. And then a complex number, again, we have an additional little constant out in front. Now, when you're adding all these things, think of it just like adding like terms. Again, if that doesn't mean anything either, link in the description below. I have a video on how to combine or add like terms. For example, just really quickly, if I had something like 5x plus 2 plus 3x plus 1, I would go, oh, 5x and 3x can be combined to 8x, and 2 plus 1 is 3. Again, if that concept is foreign to you or has not, you haven't had that concept in a while and you'd like a refresher, link below. We're going to be doing the same thing with our complex numbers or our imaginary numbers. So if I have 4i plus 6i, I don't have to worry about I being an imaginary number. It really just is, if I have 4 apples and I add 6 apples, how many apples do I have? I have 10 apples. If I had 5 scented candles and I added 3 more scented candles and then someone else gave me 2 more scented candles, how many would I have? 10 scented candles. If regular numbers or constants come into this, it's still the same. So if I have like a complex number where it is 8 plus 2i, and they will always sort of separate these with parentheses, and I'm adding to it 1 plus 5i. If this here in the middle, if things are being added, then these parentheses don't matter. Can pretty much just get rid of them. They don't have any bearing on the outcome of this. It's going to get the same answer regardless. All I'm going to do is I'm going to combine like terms. 8 and 1, those are both regular numbers. I can add them together. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2i and 5i, if I have 2 i's and I add 5 more i's, how many i's do I have? I have 7 i's. And that's it. That's done. As you'll note, one little thing when you're writing this, you've probably gotten really used to with x's when you're doing things like, oh, if it was 5x plus 3, I have to write it like that. I cannot write it 3 plus 5x because the x has to come first. Yeah, in that it does. That's the one little way these are a little different in how you write your answer. It's always going to be following that a plus bi. So the plain little number comes out front, and then your I and any coefficient if it has one in front of it. So put that plain number first. Right, if you have something that is being, like saying if there's a subtraction in the middle, like say 5 minus 2i plus 7 minus 8i. Again, we're just treating these like variables and combining like terms when we are adding and subtracting. Not multiplying, not dividing. That's a discussion for a later time. Adding and subtracting, treat them just like regular variables. Okay, I look in the middle. I am adding So, whoa, random ruler out of nowhere. Be gone, random ruler. All right, so because I'm adding, these parentheses don't mean anything. So, okay, I have a 5, and over here I have a 7. Positive 5 and positive 7 together are 12. I have a negative 2i and a negative 8i. That together is negative 10i. If the minuses are throwing you, there's never any harm in changing these to plus a negative, and then you can move things around, and you can really see that that negative is attached to that 2i and 8i. It's not just sitting there out in front. The only real thing you have to watch out for is when they put the minus in between the parentheses. When you have something like, let's say, 10 plus 3i minus 7 minus 4i. Something like that. You go, whoa, there's a minus there. Does that change things? It does. It's not a huge change, but just be careful. This minus does not mean just minus 7. It means minus 7 and also minus a negative 4i. What I like to do, keeps it very straightforward, is I change this minus to a plus, and then I change the sign of everything inside these parentheses. So this positive 7 becomes a negative 7, and the minus 4i becomes plus 4i. Now, once it's a plus in the middle, now the parentheses don't matter. So I can drop them and go back to doing what I normally did. Before, 10 plus a negative 7 is just 3, and 3i plus 4i is 7i. One more example of that. If you had, let's say, negative 4 minus 10i minus negative 2 plus 3i. I love changing minuses to plus and negatives because then you can move things around, and I'm going to do it over here too. Minus 10i plus a negative. All right, I've got a minus in the middle right here, so I'm going to change that to a plus and then change the sign of everything inside the parentheses. Negative 2 becomes positive 2, and plus 3i becomes plus negative 3i. I'm going to get rid of my parentheses because they don't matter anymore. And then I can go on to combining like terms. Negative 4 and a positive 2 together are negative 2. Negative 10i and negative 3i together are negative 13i. And I'm going to write that as minus 13i, but that is the same as plus and negative 13i. I hope you enjoyed that today. If it was helpful, useful in any way, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.